Hey there, everyone. It's GeoJesser here, and normally I play word games and geography games, but you all have seen me stream The Sims 4 a couple of times, and I decided to do a little bit of a speed build of a brand new house. So the background story is basically that I have this family that just kind of ballooned, and I have 7 adults and a toddler, two married couples. The toddler belongs to one of the married couples. And I thought it'd be fun to build like a giant mansion for them. So I'm in the desert world. I forget what it's called. When I play, I only have the base game and the deluxe expansion. So like really mostly just the basic stuff. I got it on sale from Steam. And then the other night, I decided I would splurge, and I bought myself the Dream Home Designer expansion because it has like the modular sofas and stuff that I really wanted. So that's all I'm using is the deluxe and the Dream Home Builder expansion. And I'm building this enormous mansion on this big lot. The idea behind it was I wanted kind of a modern look. I wanted it to be really big, and I wanted each adult sim to kind of have their own space and also to have some communal spaces. But I also had this idea that the two married couples would have kind of like their own little apartments. It would be like one big mansion, but they would have their own little separate living space. So I started building it, and I'm a little bit unorthodox the way I build because I'll start out with sort of a basic outline of the house, and then I'll just start putting rooms in it. So you can see I'm just putting rooms on the second floor now, and like I had no real rhyme or reason how I was doing it. I knew I wanted to have 5 bedrooms, one of which was for a toddler, and I wanted at least 3 bathrooms, 2 of them en suite, hopefully more than that. And I just kind of started building to see how it would come out. So I ended up with this enormous house. I didn't even realize how big it was until I started decorating it, and I was like, holy cow, this thing is huge. But you can see I got this kind of cool modern structure with, sort of boxy, but it's not a square. I've graduated. I used to build just squares. And the thing is that I found, like, I played The Sims, the original Sims. I played The Sims 2. I loved The Sims 2. I was like all over that game. I had a bunch of the expansion packs, and I played that thing for hours and hours and hours and hours when I was in college. That's how old I am. And I really enjoyed building houses back then. Now you can do so much more with it with The Sims 4. Like, it's so much more flexible. And one thing I've been playing with is shapes of the houses and also the roofs. So you just saw me put a roof on there. It's a lot more complex than the roofs that I had been building in the past. And one idea I had right away was to have this sort of sunroom on the second floor. So there's one room that has like a glass roof, and you can see I'm putting in doors and windows now. So when I build, I usually build sort of the outline of the structure. I put in the rooms, and then I put in the doors and windows. Because I always, I don't want to start decorating it if I don't have any light, because I can't see what the colors really are. And I'm not very good with color. I was never an artist. I will never be an artist. So what I did is I had put in some placeholder fencing and stuff. And then when I decided how I wanted it to look, I put in these sort of glass paneled fencing all around. It's consistent across the whole house. All of the fences, all of the rails. And then I used these very sort of simple modern windows. The idea was there'd be lots of natural light in the house. It's in the desert. It's very sunny. But they're, double pane, super insulated, because I figure this house, my God, their energy bills are going to be crazy. So then in the sunroom, I made a whole wall of just windows so that there would be lots of light in that room, and you could be in there when it was cold and still have lots of sun. So then I went back and started playing with the roof some more because I wasn't happy with it. And then I was like, ooh, columns. I'm going to put some columns to support the balcony because that seemed realistic. So I have to tell you a little bit about my connection to The Sims 4 because it's cool. Both my brother, who you are probably familiar with, Ranks, and my ex-husband worked on The Sims 4. They were part of the development teams on the server side. And my ex-husband especially worked on the Create a Sim part that they actually released it before the rest of the game so people could play with it, and they were super, super proud of it because it was so much more complex than what you used to be able to do. I mean, you can adjust every little piece of the face and everything. Anyway, that was my ex-husband was involved in that a lot. He's he had a lot to do with this. I actually have like dev team shirts and stuff from 2013, which I still wear because they're really nice. And also my kids are credited in the thank yous, and my youngest was actually credited as a production baby. So our connection to The Sims 4 is pretty strong, my family, and so it's pretty close to my heart. So I started playing it again just really, really recently. I hadn't played with it that much. I was super busy with little kids and whatever, and now I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna play it. And then I found out people did these videos of speed builds. So I was like, I'm gonna do one of those. So here we are. So when I build, it's very haphazard. You can see I decided to fill in the kitchen because I wanted to set the kitchen as sort of the center of the house of like, all right, whatever the kitchen looks like, that's going to set the mood. And I wanted this very stark black and white modern feel to it. And I absolutely insisted on playing with these new modular sofas that I just got. So I did that for the living room. And I had this very open concept for the main like public areas of the house. And the idea was the public areas of the house would have this very sort of stark, clean, modern feel. It's all black and white. You can see as I go. And then what I started doing, I jumped to filling in the rooms. I was like, all right, let me identify the rooms. So all I did is stuck generic beds into the bedrooms. I stuck some generic stuff. And then I started playing with the sunroom, like, I'm going to play with this modular sofa here. I think I want to have a fireplace in here, and just kind of placeholder furniture so that I could remember what I wanted to do with each room when I came back. So like this was a bathroom and those were bedrooms. And then I realized, oh no, there's only one bedroom on the first floor, bathroom on the first floor. So I decided to give this long, skinny bedroom its own ensuite bathroom so that there would be a second bathroom on the first floor. Because what I found, especially when playing The Sims 2, was the house you would build for playability and practicality in gameplay isn't necessarily realistic to how you would want a house to be in real life. And I do think The Sims 4 has adjusted for that a little bit, where like the house can be more realistic and, in the sense like you can lock doors and you can, restrict access, and the Sims aren't necessarily just going to walk in on each other. I mean, even in The Sims 2, they would not walk in on each other going to the bathroom and things like that. But like you could literally just put a toilet with a wall around it and that would be fine. And you can still do that, but like it also lends itself more to a more realistic style of building, that this would be a house somebody could actually live in real life. Like if you took this house and you built it on a big land, big empty land in the desert, like it would be a livable space. So here I'm doing the outside. I jump around so much. So like I started the kitchen and then I did some of the living room and then I wandered off upstairs and then I came into the outside. So here I decided there needed to be a big front porch area where a lot of, you could have this sort of expanded living space, and the entrance is from the kitchen over there, you can see. And then I wanted to have a swimming pool. I wanted to have a big L-shaped swimming pool, so I put that in almost immediately. And then I kind of jumped around, like, oh, let me make this kind of fun front, like, tile. I like that particular tile. And then I started playing around with the flooring in the first floor. And at first I was like, I'm going to have separate tiling for the kitchen, separate tiling for the, the dining room. And then I was like, no, I'm just going to do one thing with the kitchen having a little bit of an offset by having different walls. And I was playing around with different wallpapers and different paints to see kind of what would work. But I really wanted to maintain this idea that all of the public spaces were just this black and white, very clean, very sleek lines with a splash of color here and there. Remember, there is a toddler living in this house, so I made sure to put like a high chair and a toddler potty and all the little things that the toddler would need. And one of the bedrooms is for the baby. It's a girl, and I made it very girly because honestly, you can, so why not? So then I decided to start building the bedrooms. And my idea was, okay, the public spaces are all very uniform and very like formal, but then each bedroom is the occupant's living space, right? That's where they're going to spend a lot of time because like, okay, you live in a house with 6 other adults and a toddler, like you're going to want to escape to like your own space. And so each bedroom has its own color scheme, its own feel, its own look, its own furniture, so that each sim would have like, a unique place in the house that was really just theirs. And I imagine that each of them decorated it the way they like. Now, the problem here for me, I am very indecisive about color. I'm very indecisive about style. And so you can see I went through a bunch of different colors of carpet, a bunch of different colors of walls. Then I decided that, no, I needed to change the bed and then match it to the bed. And then I didn't like this and that. And then I couldn't find furniture that matched the bed. And then I wanted to put, anyway, so it went through a lot of changes, but each bedroom eventually started to take shape. I'm really happy with that green room on the right there. And then this room, I decided I wanted to do kind of like a more pale blue and white look. But then I really like blue and brown. I've always really liked blue and brown together in various combinations, either dark blue with dark brown or light blue with light brown. And so I think I have 2 bedrooms that have that. In the end, I'll have 2 bedrooms with like a blue and brown color scheme. But here's where it gets really fun. Check out this bedroom. was like, ooh, red bed, ooh, red walls, ooh, darker floor. And then I was like, red desk, red chair. I started to have a little fun with it. So I have one character who's probably would be using this room, and I imagine that he would be, he would have this crazy red room, and I just loved it. And then I really wanted to play with this new modular system that came with the new expansion pack that I got. And so it had this thing where you can put these hanging shelves, and I had to go find them. I didn't know where they were. And then you could just hang the clothing from there. So I really wanted to do that. So I went hunting for that. And then I was like, I'm going to keep going with this red theme here. So this is the red room. And then check out the bathroom. I continued the idea of this red and black theme. It's very silly, but what's fun when you're building in The Sims is you can do that. You can have some really elegant looks, and you can have some really silly looks, and you can kind of base it on like the characters that you've created. And so what ended up happening with my Sims save is I had started off with a family that was sort of a silly version of my actual family. So there was a version of me who was named, I think it was Jemessica Schmackum or something, very silly. And then she had a husband and kids, and the kids had names that were silly versions of my kids' real names. And then I went off and started playing other families that I was building. I was messing around. And that family just kept going, and like all of them are dead except for the two like youngest kids. Now they're adults. And then I had started another family that was actually me, GeoJesser. And then I gave her a husband named Frivolous Hamster. And then they had kids, and they had 4 kids, and their kids all have really silly names. And now their kids are all grown up, and they're dead. And it came full circle because I had one of the kids marry one of the kids from the original family and moved the 2 surviving members of that family in. And so I combined the 2 households. And so now I have 2 of the original characters from my very first family that I was playing with living in this house. And that's how I ended up with so many people. So I wanted to try to, get like a generation thing going. And so I had the one family, the one married couple has a kid. I'll probably have another married couple have a kid, but I wanted to kind of get started. Well, here's the thing. I got a little overzealous with this house, and its value is something like 150,000 simoleons, and my family's worth about 100,000, so like it's close. But I definitely went a little bit overboard, so this might just be for show at this point. So anyway, so I had made the dad of the kid, the toddler, he's an artist, and so I made his bedroom sort of gray with like black and white, but like softer colors with some splashes of blue. And then the toddler, her room, I actually planned ahead. So I already put in the twin bed, like the loft bed with the desk for when she becomes a child. And then I made it this real girly pink room with the sparkly walls and all of this stuff. And then I got tired and I quit for the day. And this is actually the second day of the build. So I spent about 2 hours on it yesterday, and then I finished it today. It's Tuesday. Spent another hour on it. So obviously, I mean, you can see this footage is sped up quite a lot. So then I was like, okay, this is one of the public area bathrooms. So it's black and white, but then the little girl's going to be using it. And I thought it would be really fun to give it a little bit of color. So I remembered when I was a kid, one of my friends talked about that she was going to be repainting her bedroom, and she was going to do it in black and hot pink. And that has stuck with me my whole life, of this idea of having a bedroom that was black and hot pink. And so I thought, wouldn't it be fun to make the bathroom black and hot pink? And I just love that rug. So I had fun with that. And then I wanted to start putting in some more sort of tchotchkes and personal touches and little decorative things, because when I started playing, I didn't appreciate how important it is to the Sims moods to have nice decorations. So I've gotten really into putting all the little things, put a little Kleenex box on her desk, and put little toothbrushes in the bathroom, and putting rugs and paintings and stuff everywhere, and plants. Then I had this big empty space in the upstairs, and I thought, wouldn't it be cute to make that a little loft, sort of a little living room? So I put in couches and a TV there, and then I went back to the bedroom. So I was just jumping all over the place as inspiration came to me. And this bedroom, I had so much trouble because part of my complaint really is it's very hard to match furniture. Like, there are a couple of things that are sets, but like nothing matches this bed. And I really, really liked this bed as the centerpiece of the room, and I couldn't find anything that matched it. And you can see me going through all these different dressers and all these different color schemes, trying to figure out how can I make this bed the centerpiece of the room. And I gave up. You'll see in a minute. I ended up changing to a whole other bed because I just could not get a matched set. But I really liked the color scheme of the carpet and the walls, and so I wanted to keep that sort of bluish green and then work within that color scheme. And so the bed worked really well, but then none of the other furniture matches. And the nice thing about the new expansion pack that I downloaded is, that you do have these sets that do go together better, but I still wanted to use some of the stuff from the older, the original base game. So here I completely changed the bed. I'm like, all right, here's a bed. This is green and white. Green and white will work. And then everything else, all the other furniture could be green and white, and that was fine. And then I was like, probably need some plants. I started just messing around with plants. But it's starting to really come together at this point. It's almost done. And I've just started to I have one more bedroom. And I was like, I'm going to build the bedroom around the bed this time. I'm going to pick a color scheme I like. I'm going to pick a bed style I like. And then I'm going to build the bedroom around it. And that's exactly what I did. And here you can see again with the blue and the brown. But this is sort of darker. And I really, really like that bed. I think it's really cool. So I was like, I'll put curtains up in this one. This is a really big bedroom. You can imagine, probably this is where, the other married couple lives. They have a big bedroom with a lot of space so that they can have their desk and their bed and their dresser and a little bit of, room to move around. So I put in 2 rugs. And I just thought that was really fun. So as I was finishing up, I was thinking about, what's left to do at this point. You start to get a little tired. I mean, this was a 3-hour build. And what's left is the sunroom. And I could not get the fireplace to match everything else. And I was really annoyed that I could not get the fireplace to work. And I almost decided to just ditch it. But then I tried a few different ones and a few different swatches. And I finally found one I was happy with. Because I really did want to have this sort of all-weather room. Because, even in the desert, in, Las Vegas, the desert, the winters can be pretty cold. So, I figured you'd want to have an all-weather room, or if it's super, super hot out, you still want to have the natural light, but you want to hide in the air-conditioned space. So, and then you can watch people in the swimming pool below you. This is a really big room, and I decided this would be fun to make it kind of like a game room also. And so I started putting in a lot of the hobby items, musical instruments. I put in a card table because I really like the idea of the card table. And just a little sitting area. There's a bookshelf on the wall. And then I realized more bare walls, gotta put some more paintings up. And I really wish there were more painting options. But then I realized one of my Sims is an artist, and you can use the paintings that they make and you can put those on the walls. And so I thought, if I have some bare walls, I can always do that. I also really like pools with black floor. I think it looks really cool. And I just really love that little turtle. So I decorated the outside. There's just a little bit left to do just to spruce up the outside, put some stuff on the balcony, put some stuff on the porch. So I have this nice grill with this sort of outdoor living space, outdoor dining area. Don't forget the trash can. I think I forgot to put a trash can in the kitchen now that I think about it, but that's okay. That's a minor thing. A little bench so you can sit on the porch and chat. A little, you got your telescope, you got your planters. Little tent for the toddler. And then upstairs, on this balcony is accessible from the loft area. So I put a lot of the baby's toys out there that she could play with, and then some workout stuff because I've got 2 people that need fitness. And then I put an easel on the balcony off the master bedroom, spruced up the flooring, and then I had fun with palm trees. I figured it's a desert, you gotta put palm trees. And then I went down too far. I put a row of cypress trees because I really like those. And I thought that would be a nice little privacy wall and maybe some shade for the porch there. And then I was just messing around with some aloe, and it made me think of the time when I was 7 years old and I was riding my bike outside by myself and I fell into an aloe plant. That didn't feel very good. They're spiky. And I remember sitting on the toilet in my parents' bedroom and my mom picking spines out of my stomach. So that's one of my memories. And now we are done. So here's a little tour. So you go in, there's the living space. You can see the bedrooms. Each one has its own personality. But all of the public spaces continue the black and white theme. So the hall bathroom's black and white, the kitchen, the dining area, black and white. Here's the backyard with the pool. We've got the red bedroom with the red bathroom. I really love that. And then upstairs you have the master suite up there with the big fancy bathroom. That still kind of continues the black and white theme with a little bit of color. You've got the little girl's bedroom. You've got the other hall bathroom. You've got the outside balcony. And the roof, which I'm actually really, really proud of how the roof came out. It was hard to do. So there it is, my giant mansion in the desert. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought. If you'd like to see more like this, I'm more than happy to make more houses. I thought my next project would be to make a realistic house, like an affordable house for the big family, and then move them in and probably stream some of that gameplay, because I think that would be fun. So keep an eye out for Sims 4 streams. I also stream GeoJesser on Sunday afternoons. My other gameplay streams tend to be whenever I have a chance, when it's quiet in my house and I have time. So you can keep an eye out for those. You can find me on Discord. There's a link in the description to the Discord server where you can find my channel, GeoJesser Discussion. If you're interested in supporting me, I do have a Patreon. It's just patreon.com/GeoJesser. I want a special shout out to my current patrons, especially my Explorer tier patron, Shannon. That's just $5 a month, and you get access to additional bonus videos, and you get priority consideration for word suggestions and so forth for my word game videos. So if any of that interests you, check out the rest of my channel, and stay tuned for more Sims content, probably, because I'm really enjoying this. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow with more word games. Bye for now.